There are 6 invisible levels of social class that truly rule this world. Most people will live and die without ever realizing which one they're trapped in. They measure themselves by salary, title, or lifestyle. Power only measures control. Listen carefully. Once you see the architecture, you can never unsee it. Level 1 is not poverty. It is erasure. The homeless exist beneath the system's concern, outside its exploitation cycle. They have no leverage, no data profile worth monetizing, no role left to play. Society forgets them until they become a visible nuisance. Then it punishes their survival. This level serves one purpose, a living warning to everyone still inside the machine. Look down and tremble. Fall too far and no one will catch you. Level 2 belongs to the working poor, the most perfectly controlled class on Earth. They are given just enough to survive, never enough to escape. Visible enough to work, invisible enough to remain powerless. Every crisis is engineered to keep them breathless, chasing the next paycheck. They are praised as hard-working, while their lives are slowly consumed. Loyalty is extracted. Dreams are used as bait. Rebellion is made impossible. They defend the very system that devours them because they believe struggle is noble. Hard work is not a ladder. It is a treadmill designed never to end. Level 3 is the blue-collar caste, the backbone praised in speeches and discarded in silence. They keep the lights on, the cities running, the machines alive. Yet they are tolerated, not respected. Useful, never valuable. Their skills are kept common, so they remain replaceable. They cling to pride and identity because without the uniform, they fear they are nothing. Time erodes their bodies, while the illusion of advancement keeps them obedient. 1 in 100 is allowed to rise just enough to prove the myth is real. The rest tighten their belts and silence their rage. Level 4 consists of the political elite, the visible operators of control. Lawmakers, bureaucrats, judges, they do not own the system, they maintain it. Elections are theater. Real selection happens in private networks and quiet rooms. They speak of stability while executing the will of those above them. When the public grows angry, these are the ones sacrificed on the altar of optics. They are middle management of empire, always replaceable, never truly in charge. Level 5 is the realm of the oligarchs, where ownership replaces visibility. They do not appear on ballots. They underwrite the rules others must obey. They own the infrastructure you cannot live without and extract from it forever. Monopoly is their religion. Predictability is their sacrament. They fund both sides, hedge every crisis, and turn chaos into opportunity. While you argue over culture and morality, they quietly acquire the future. Their greatest power is remaining unnamed and unaccountable. Level 6 does not compete. It does not rise. It simply is. This is the ancient lineage, the bloodlines that sit behind symbols and centuries. They do not own companies. They shape civilizations. Their wealth is not measured in money, but in legitimacy, tradition, and subconscious reverence. You do not vote them out. You do not storm their gates. Even oligarchs ultimately answer to something older, colder, and infinitely patient. They own time itself. Now you have seen the 6 levels. Most will dismiss this as conspiracy. The ones who truly understand will feel a cold weight settle in their chest. Because once you know where you actually stand, the comforting lies stop working. The system was never broken. It was built this way. The question that remains is simple yet terrifying. Will you continue playing your assigned role? Or will you begin the long, dangerous work of climbing higher than they ever intended? Most will choose comfort and denial. A few will choose awareness. And power has always known exactly how to deal with both. Choose wisely. The ladder is real. But very few are ever allowed to reach the top. And those who do rarely remain who they once were. This is the architecture of control. Beautifully designed, ruthlessly maintained, and almost invisible until now. Sleep well. Just remember, someone always knows exactly where you stand. The real question is whether you finally do too. The machine is watching, and it prefers you stay exactly where you are. Welcome to the truth. Most people wish they had never heard it. But ignorance was never really bliss. It was just another form of control. Now you know. The rest is up to you. And power is already calculating your next move. Choose carefully. Very carefully. Because in this game, awareness itself is a weapon. And weapons make people dangerous. The system has ways of handling the dangerous. It always has. The only real freedom begins the moment you stop lying to yourself about where you stand, about what you're willing to accept, about how far you're willing to go. Everything else is just noise. Beautiful, comforting, deadly noise. This has been the architecture they never wanted you to see clearly. Now it's burned into your mind. Use it, or let it use you. The choice was never really a choice. It was always a test. And the game continues. Whether you play consciously or unconsciously. Good luck. You're going to need it. More than you know. See you at the next level. If you make it. Most don't. Sweet dreams.